Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ambassador, you have stated that you do not favor a specific candidate, and that, of course, is the position of our government. And it was also stated by Senator Lugar the same thing. He says, I noted publicly that I was not an advocate of either candidate in the election, and the President has been very clear on this. Any election, if there is one, ought to be free from any foreign influence, which I think sounds like a pretty good idea. It's illegal for other countries to interfere in our election. I don't know whether it's illegal for us to interfere, but at least it's good policy not to pick a candidate. And yet, I come across some evidence to show that U.S. taxpayers' dollars may well have, supported one candidate over another. You talk about more funding for the NGOs, and this is for monitoring elections, and I understand that, but there's other fundings that I'm concerned about. For instance, we know that USAID sends millions of dollars to a group called the Poland American-Ukraine Cooperative Initiative, which is administered by Freedom House. And Freedom House then distributes many, many dollars to many Ukrainian NGOs. And if you study their web pages, you find out that they're not nonpartisan at all. They're very partisan. And on one, for instance, the International Center for Policy Studies has one of the candidates was on the advisory board, and there's a connection to his political website. So, and there are several that I have here that you see money going from USAID to Freedom House to the NGOs who are absolutely connected to a particular candidate. And I think it's a real stretch to say that U.S. taxpayers' dollars have not supported a particular candidate. And I'm just wondering whether you think that's possible, or why would this exist, and whether or not, if there is a question, whether or not you would support an effort on my part or somebody else's to look this and try to trace this money through these various organizations to find out if the American taxpayers' dollars were used for a specific candidate and in contradiction to our stated policy. Because I would think quite possibly the GAO could do a report for us and tell us this. Could you comment on this? Is there any chance that our taxpayers' dollars have been used for a particular candidate?
Congressman, I'm not familiar with those particular programs. I'll be happy to look at that and get back to you. I would say that we have tried as a government policy to not support a particular candidate. I know that some of the larger programs, for example, the National Democratic Institute, the International Republican Institute, do training programs. Those programs are open to anyone who wants to participate. These are political training programs in terms of how to do political parties and all of the things that go with politics. The fact that some people in Ukraine, as in other countries, choose to participate, some parties and others not, is something that is their choice. It's not something that we are trying to exclude or to include anyone in particular. With regard to those websites, I'll have to take a look at that, and then we'll have to get back to you, sir.
Thank you.